So this is just a continuation of the Galaxie until this car is done. Okay, well, if you watched my last video, I was trying to figure out the backup lights. Like, I kept thinking I don't have backup lights, but I think I do. I'm not sure, but here's the tail light. I think that's the backup light. I mean, aren't backup lights white? Yeah, then I was thinking, I said in my last video that I need to keep checking up there for parts. I got this other steering wheel. I'm going to see if I can figure out how to test this horn just like that. I mean, it's just two wires like I think I was showing. It's just one wire in, one wire out. And I'll push this and see if my horn goes off. So I needed the two little contact springs and a white blinker piece, plastic. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to test this thing. So I got the ground. The way I think it works, you get the blue with the yellow stripe goes into the horn. When you push the horn button, it grounds. But in this case, I just got a meter, and I have it on the ground. I have one at the end of the meter on the ground and one on the blue and yellow. And I would think that when I push this, that the meter should sound off, but it's not working. So the only way I can confirm this, I can confirm it on my car because the steering wheel is already off. Let me try the meter on the car. If I touch one of the wires and ground it, it should go off. The meter should go off. Okay, I'm sitting in the car. This here, again, got my meter on continuity, and the other end on just a metal probe. So if I touch ground, the meter goes off, if you can hear that. So this is where that little spring thing goes in. That goes to so that comes up into the steering wheel, and you push the horn, then it grounds. So I think the other steering wheel has got the same problem. I'm gonna have to pull it apart. In between what I was just saying before, I put this back together. It's not bolted in or nothing, but what? Okay, just on recap, as I was talking about the relay, there's power coming from the relay. Power coming from the battery, basically, to the relay. There's a wire going to the horns. The other wire is running over to the firewall, but that's where I found the broken wire, if you look at the last video. So right now they're connected with a splice, a temporary splice. And again, I guess you have to go back to the last video, but basically, I took this one apart. I was trying to figure things out in my head. Because this one doesn't work either. But you see it's all corroded. So this is just the one on top. But basically, again, I hate to say last video, I hate those people say that, but when that touches this, when this touches this, it completes the circuit, because this here is plastic. When it completes the circuit and the horn goes off. Well, both of mine look like this. This should be clean copper, and I'll show you when I take that wheel back off. So make sure this is cleaned up good. Make sure this edge is cleaned up good. Even though it might look like it, you file it. We use a file and just take off some stuff. I hope that makes sense. I need to get that plastic piece out, and I'll show you. So there's two little holes here. That's for pulling the steering wheel off. I need to thread these bolts into here. The reason this horn didn't work, this piece was missing. It was just missing. Somebody took it out. I decided I better take this. This is the piece I need, so I decided I better to practice on. I watched some videos on this. And they all say you got to cut these wires and pull it up. But I'm thinking if you stick a screwdriver in here, you can pry this plastic piece up. Okay, I got this piece out of here. There was like a rivet head on top of this. I just kind of, it broke off real easy with a screwdriver. You can see it. But I'm not going to cut these wires. That's ridiculous. 21 bucks is better than paying for everything. Better than paying for the whole thing. I think this will do it. No, these are in pretty good shape. Date 1/64. These are still the right color. Yeah, as I was cleaning up, I decided to build a little way to stir that car that's outside. Cut this off here, and cut this off here, and weld this and this together. This was garbage to me, so I just, like I said, I cut that off, welded this together. This is the extra piece. I just sanded it down so because it was rusted. Well, now I know why I call it. Now I know why they call it the rack joint. It's bolted on. I mean, I need to weld it. Okay, I welded it right here and right there. Easy to take off if I ever wanted to. It's a little bit out of round. As long as I can stir this damn thing. And I put a little bit of oil on this to keep it from rusting. I might, who knows, I might never need it, but this is a good hunk of steel. The next day, these parts here are out of the blue Galaxie. These parts here are out of the one outside. And these parts here are what I had to buy to make this all work. So I'm just going to pick the best parts of everything and put it together. Again, this one's broken. This one, there's two problems with this lock. You see the end here? See this old lock? There's room to put a ring around, a snap ring around here to hold this piece in place. This lock doesn't have that. And also this lock won't push in far enough for that pin to pop up right there. That's irritating. Okay, I'm sidetracked again. Here's some of the chrome, that runs along the side of the car. So we look close. This is good, but then it gets into this, the chrome's gone, or whatever this stuff is. As far as I can tell, maybe it'll come back. I'm not going to buy new pieces if they sell them. I'm not going to do it. I'll paint them a different color if I have to. But I was just curious, can this stuff be cleaned up? Anyway, I got this stuff called wadding polish. I used to use this on my Harley, which I sold. Comes in like that. I didn't think this would clean up, but now that feels like glass. Yeah, this is the next day. After playing around with these things, don't buy them. They're garbage. The main problem is this crimper thing doesn't work right. I was looking online today. Get a brand called Deutsch. Just do not buy these. I mean, eventually you can get them to work, but there's all kinds of videos of people trying to make them work. It's just, anyway, I have to go do something. I'm gonna go to the locksmith. Yeah, I got back from running around, so I'm trying to figure out why when I crank the key it won't turn over. But it turns over here. So that means the starter, the solenoid are all good. So now I gotta work backwards from here. Okay, so now I'm going from the S terminal through my meter. I'll put it on the speaker. So that means the wire is good from here to here. So this wire, I think, is the key switch. So we're gonna hook the meter up to the key switch. I can hear the beeper going off. If I connect these two together, it should crank. It's not cranking, but it has to. I just clipped them together with this alligator clip. It doesn't make any sense. I just don't get that. I don't get it. Yeah, nothing's going my way. But you see this lock here? This is the lock I bought that was the wrong one. You see how you can't see down inside? That rectangular thing, that's a dust cover. When you put the key in, it swings aside. The locksmith called me up and said the key that I took in to get rekeyed doesn't have a dust cover. You know what I think? I think I was getting continuity, but I wasn't getting any power, if that makes sense. So I gotta try to figure out which fuse. Okay, I touched all the fuses, both ends. You know, here, both ends, they're all good. But, so then I started thinking, what's going on? What could possibly cause everything to be dead? Because the lights aren't on, the dome lights aren't on, it won't crank. But I look down here, I have this unplugged. What? I need to get... Okay, dome lights are on. Still got the same jumper. Should crank now. There we go. Finally. I thought I was losing my mind. In fact, I was losing it. So the way I tested the fuses, this is hooked to the battery. I just touched one side of the fuse and the other side. They were all hot. So then that made me think, what could possibly cause everything not to work? It was weird though, when I turned the key, you heard the buzzer. Somehow I was just making a ground, I guess. Well, I didn't use this. That's what I like about this, is you can tell if you're ground or power. That was another thing. I was in here, I was thinking, I tried the horn, that wouldn't work. The lights won't work. Nothing would work. It was weird. Yeah, I'm gonna test one more thing. The black and red wires together. I should have power to the backup light wires. So first of all, which one of these is coming from the instrument panel? See, it says 0. So let me turn the key on. That's the same thing that was giving me that false reading before. Okay, I'm getting 12 volts. So again, this is the neutral reverse wire. If I hook these two together, I should get power at the backup. But first, let me check to see if the backup is dead. Black with red stripe, nothing. That's the backup light, so it should be in reverse. So I gotta hook up those two wires. First we'll hook up the two wires and it should still be dead, but then I put it in reverse, it should be hot. Okay, I got the two hooked together. Yeah, I'm getting 12 volts. Why? Maybe I'm in reverse. I rolled the car backwards. No, it's in park. What's going on here? I decided to hook up a light bulb instead. So, why is it on? I put it in reverse. Still on. Neutral. Still on. Low. Still on. Skip drive. Still on. Park again. It should be off. What is going on? Think about this problem. Yeah, you know what? I guess that is right. Because it's probably normally closed unless you shift the lever and then it opens. So right now I'm just bypassing the switch now and leaving it open. I need to hook these wires to here. I'm gonna hook it up with Wacos. Okay, I got my Wacos hooked up. So it's in park, the light should be off. It's off. Put it in reverse, There's a little slop in here. Just making sure I still have it hooked up right. Yeah. Yeah, that's the reverse. Okay, this is a case where I gotta have the buzzer. So let me disconnect this and hook up the buzzer. Okay, I got the buzzer hooked up. It's beeping. It's just that this thing is off. So that's another problem. This indicator's off. Oh, and by the way, the crank works. The crank and the backup work. Okay, I kept this is the old steering wheel I took apart. It looks like there's no electrical or physical connection. I mean, you could slot this and move it over. But I guess the better idea would be to somehow change the linkage. I saved these parts. And this is why, when you need to look at stuff, you've got something to look at. It looks like I can adjust it right down here. That's where the slop is. Just gonna loosen that nut and slide this up or down. Anyway, this video is gonna be about me trying to solve more problems. Let me see if I can list them. I ordered the trunk lock cylinder. It was wrong. I ordered a horn. I don't know if I showed that in here. The guy said it was brand new. It was used and it shook. I sent that back today. I'm trying to figure out the neutral safety switch and the backup lights switch, because I finally figured out that I do have backup lights. Just a few minutes ago, I figured out that the selector for drive reverse is off a little bit, which matters on the backup lights. So I talk about that at the end. The horn, I can't remember where I was on the horn last video, but I got the horn working. There was 3 things wrong with the horn. Again, I can't remember the last video. One, I had a broken wire. One, the contacts, the spring contacts were dirty. And then another part, one of the horns was bad, the high horn. And I think I talk about that. And then I'm using some of the test equipment. I'm just, oh, by the way, I turned 70 today. 70. You know, I remember thinking when I was 20, I was going to die at 40. And everybody else was older than me. All of a sudden, I'm the old guy. But I'm trying to keep going. And this is what keeps me going. So anyway, I think, so the horn, I got the horn working because I found 2 upstairs. I don't know if I talked about that. See, the horn, the ignition, the backup lights, the reverse neutral lights, and whatever else. It's been a frustrating week. But right now I feel good. Kind of got some stuff done. And I don't know. If you're into this stuff, watch it. If you're not, that's okay. You can insult me. I don't care. I don't want your money. I don't want sponsorships. I don't want nothing. I'm just sharing what I'm doing. Yeah, so I just went to the locksmith shop to pick my parts back up because I needed that new piece. But I can see now that dust shield is missing. I didn't even notice that. But he got the cylinder out, so he must have picked it. Next day, I'm going to see if I can figure out the slop in the selector. I'm going to see if I can trace down how to get rid of this slop. Okay, so I'm going to start here. That's how much slop is in here. Okay, first off, my reverse lights aren't going on. So what's going on? In fact, the dome lights aren't on, nothing's on again. So now I know what it is. This connector fell off. Again, I'm not sure how to keep it on. That seems tight. So it's in reverse. It's in reverse. First, I got to make sure I know what reverse is according to the light. And the buzzer's not going off. The light and the buzzer's hooked up. Right there. So somehow I need to get that over to the R. That's the rod that comes out of the steering wheel right there. I know there's no slop in that. It's a solid connection. Watch my, I don't know if you can hear the beeping, but I'll tell you, right now it's beeping. Now it's not. It's beeping, not beeping. So I don't know that just adjusting it right here will do any good. There's some slop in here somewhere. Let me raise the car up. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear the beeper, but it's on right now. Here's the linkage to the transmission. If I push it forward, the beeping's off. I mean, I'm just moving this a 1/16 of an inch. This switch inside here just ain't that great. There's a little slop here. This thing's just laying here. I'm gonna loosen that nut up and see what happens. By the way, that plastic piece down there is this piece. It should be up in here somewhere. That side's broken too. Anyway, work on getting this loose. This is right in my way. Okay, I got that bolt loose. I can't get my hand in there, but I used this 1/2-inch wrench. I think I need to put this where I want it. Look at it. How am I gonna hold that? I wedged the board in here, so now it's in park. So this lever here is the column. So I got it all the way down is park, and all the way up on this lever, on this rod, is park. So let me tighten the nut and see what happens. Yeah, I lost my wrench. I'm trying to find it. I kind of showed a clip of this. I'm throwing it all away. It's freaking garbage. This is garbage. Yeah, I got a disease called old age. I put tools down, I can't find them. It's right in front of me, right here. Well, anyway, it's in reverse now. Let's see, park. But I can hear the beeper going off way over here. Maybe it's not in park. So now I went too far the other direction. Man, it's a pain trying to hold this yourself. Need somebody in here holding this in park. Yeah, it wasn't all the way in park. So I just pushed it. That's park right there. Yeah, it's still down. You see this wire? It's hot. It's the horn. I'm just not sure how to do this. I need 2 people. Let me just keep thinking about this. There's got to be a solution. Okay, I put a ratchet strap on there with a vice grip so it won't slide down, because the higher up, the more leverage. See, now I need to go into the car, but I can't. I need to make sure I'm in park down there. So I guess I need to hook this bungee cord to here. That's ridiculous. Now I go back down below, put it in park, tighten that bolt up again. You know, there is a little bit of slop right here. I think I need to put a thicker washer. I'm gonna do that before I tighten anything up. There's the washer. Try 2 washers. Get rid of that slop. I put another washer, but I had to grind it down just so it was just right. Okay, park. Reverse, I can hear the buzzer going off. Neutral. Drive. Low. Success. Okay, so if you have a Galaxie, if you ever want to adjust your indicator, I could not find a video on that. I can't find anything in the book. But this is, now that I did it, ratchet that thing in park. Not too far, you don't want to break it. just so it's snug, just like I did around to the hinge or your hood or whatever. Then loosen that nut right there. Enough so this will slide. You saw, I don't know if I showed it, but this actually fell out. You could put vice grips on there so it doesn't fall out. But it has to be loose enough to slide. Not real loose, but loose enough. Then go under the car and put it all the way this way, forward, into park. Then tighten it up. It's a bitch tightening it. Can't get a socket in there. At least I couldn't get a swivel socket. I just learned a trick too. This is what happened. I would tighten it, take it off, come on. I'd have to take it loose, come down, but then it wouldn't slide on. So when you're in that position, go in reverse so it goes click, click, take it off, and then you can do it. I never knew that, if that makes sense. I'm gonna take this off, all the pieces, lay it on the table, and see what it really looks like. Okay, it looks something like that. This is the passenger side. That piece goes down here. That piece there is missing, but I have one over there. So that piece would go here. Those are missing. Yeah, I don't know what I said before, but this is the end for this week. It's getting too hot. We're having another heat streak. 2 wires hooked up to the tack. This is the tack I took out of the engine stand. I'm just gonna mount it here somewhere. And this broken wire, you saw me ground it by mistake. This is the horn wire. It's like light blue with a yellow stripe. So that runs to the horn, and then it grounds through the body. You saw me do. So let's just look at this upside down. Yeah, there's the blue yellow right there. Just runs like that.